Welcome into Good Garma Wrestling, along with Brian Rhodes from ESPN West Palm. I'm Jonathan Hood from ESPN Chicago, and we can't wait. No Mercy taking place in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You can always catch NXT, by the way, on the CW Network on Tuesday. We have the champion, the NXT champion with us, Oba Femi. So happy to have him with us here on Good Karma Wrestling. Champ, as always, we appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate being here.
Yeah, man, we want to talk to you about what the how life is for you right now. You got the championship and you've got the world by the tail. How's it feel right now to be Oba Femi?
I mean, it still feels normal the same way it felt, 2, 3 years ago. It doesn't really change. You're still you. Like, it's always a better viewing experience from outside the box than inside. So it still feels the same to me. I understand that I'm doing great things, but I'm pretty neutral right now.
You rewind the clock maybe a decade, you show friends and family this version of Oba Femi, who's a track star, who's shot put, all that sort of stuff. What's their reaction to this version of Oba Femi?
Ooh, 10 years ago, where does that put us? 2015?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had already started throwing around that time, so maybe they believe it.
Okay. But even this top of the game, like professional wrestling?
Maybe,
Okay.
like, I showed signs of being great at shot put like very early on. Like the raw talent was always there,
Mhm.
and I'd already started doing great things at 20. End of the year 2015, I had already done some national trials and championships, and I'd done very well. So maybe they believe.
See, Brian. Here's what you don't know about the Black family. We could be at a certain level, and then they'd be like, "Oh, that's good, but what else do you have in mind? Do you have another job? Get yourself a trade." And it's like, "No, Mom, this is what I want to do. I want to be in entertainment, right?" Sometimes you just have to show them, right, Oba?
Oh yeah, 100%. People always get these questions like, "Oh, how easy was it convincing your family that you are going to wrestle?" I was like, "Listen, it was harder to convince them that I was going to throw a metal ball far and make money from doing that. That was always going to be harder. So that's easy. The shot put part was the hard one.
Okay.
No Mercy takes place at the War Memorial on September 27th. The champ, Oba Femi, with us here on Good Karma Wrestling. Oba, tell us about the state of NXT. Being on the CW, and we've had Shawn Michaels on here before. Shawn says it's the best 2 hours in wrestling. How do you take NXT right now? What do you think of the company?
I mean, I agree. I agree with Sean in the sense that like the brand is doing the best work it's done forever. I mean, we're on the CW network, which is huge for us. Our partnership has been going on for the first year. We're going into year 2 now, so we're expecting very big things. And I do understand that there is an era of NXT in black and gold, which is like revered by the fans, and that's what they remember. But it's very hard to understand that right now we're doing a lot better than back then. The version of NXT that is romanticized by the fans is not even doing as well as we are today. I do appreciate, all the effort that the black and gold brand, put forth. Like without them, there is no NXT today. But we have to understand that this right now is the best 2 hours of wrestling on television.
Well, then what do you guys have to do on a weekly basis to differentiate and say, hey, we're not the black and gold, we're not 2.0, we are our own version of NXT? What are some of the things you guys have to do to continue that?
So, of course, the black and gold era was defined by, the introduction of a lot of the independent wrestlers that came with all the experience and all that. It was fast-paced action and, it was bang, bang, bang. The main roster has a little bit of a slower pace where it is more entertainment-based and more about the moments and stuff like that. So I believe that NXT today has found a way to successfully merge the two, because there's people who are like, it's too slow, I want more action. And there's people who is like, this is too fast, we need more stars and moments. So NXT right now is the perfect combination of both styles, where you do have stars, big stars like Oba Femi and Trick Williams, and you still have that fast-paced action by Oba Femi and Trick Williams. So this is the best version, the best possible version of NXT that we can have.
So Ricky Saints is in the company and he talks a lot and he wants to be able to get your championship. What do you think of Ricky Saints as a performer?
I mean, I'll say this about Ricky. He is an intense human being, a bit of a hothead in my opinion, but I see his passion, I see his drive. I don't think he's, Oba Femi by any means, but I do think he's a respectable star in his own right. He's coming for the NXT championship just like everybody else. I don't get offended by people who want to, come and challenge me. I embrace the challenge. But I'm going to prove to him that his level of talent has been severely overrated. I don't think he's as special as everyone makes him seem to be. And at no mercy, I will expose that for the better.
Your style is special in the fact that your size, your speed, it's not a combination you often see in professional wrestling. Who is someone you watch past, present, even future? You say, okay, let me get some tips from this person because they're sort of comparable to myself.
I mean, Undertaker, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, those were the guys that I grew up watching, and like even when I started doing professional wrestling myself, I was like, okay, who can I watch? Who is comparable to me? I do understand that I am my own thing, but like you can always pull inspiration from from superstars of the past, and I feel like those names I mentioned were the guys who were able to merge those two styles effectively, and I was able to draw from them.
Oba, when you are in the back and you're talking to former wrestlers or agents that's working in WWE, who do you talk to as far as trying to even move up a few steps as far as wrestling is concerned? Someone that you confide in, advice that you get from.
The immediate ones, Shawn Michaels, Coach Bloom, even Ivar. He's helped me a lot. We have like big man sessions together here. We'll watch matches and go over stuff. So those are the immediate ones. And then of course guys like CM Punk, they always come down to NXT to help out. So when they're here, anything I can ask him and pull, because he's in a very unique spot where he's done everything, and it's not like, oh, he's an old timer, like his time is gone. No, he's still like actively in it. So like if there's anyone to ask questions, it's definitely CM Punk. So I maximize his availability the best as I can, and those will be the names that I go to for my information.
Brian, do you hear that? Big man sessions. Okay,
Yeah.
so in those big man sessions, do you have a class on how to break Javon Evans in half? Because you've done that several times. What's that class that you break him in half through a table twice?
I mean, I specifically come to work trying to find new ways to destroy that man, but
All right.
Oh my God, that
that,
poor bastard. I
that's
mean, I know
that's
it's
what we study.
bouncy.
That's what
Yeah.
we study. We're like, oh, how can we cripple Japan in going into the next match?
What does it mean in that locker room to have the guys like Punk, even Ivar, that, like you said, are in it? They're doing it day to day, but they're still taking the time to come back and talk to you guys. What does that mean in the locker room?
I mean, it's definitely appreciated. I mean, there's definitely guys who don't understand what it means, because to them it's just, oh, God, CM Punk is here. But they don't understand the unique position that he and Ivar are in, that in the sense that they've had 20 plus years of wrestling experience, and they're still doing it. That's a unique spot, because Sean and Coach Bloom and all those guys and Undertaker, they still come around, but like they retired, they're done. Their era has passed. They're not active in it, and CM Punk and Ivar are active in it, but some guys understand, to the degree of how important that is, and some guys don't. But I'm sure, in the general sense of things, seeing CM Punk here is greatly appreciated by the locker room.
Oh, but we all have goals and dreams. So when you take a look at that WWE roster, who would you like to take on that dream match? Like, yeah, when I take on this person, it's gonna
Man.
be lit.
Uh, I don't know how I feel about dream matches. I'm not crazy about dream matches. I mean, everyone says Oba Femi versus Gunther would be good, and I believe it will be good. So I'll throw his name out there. For some reason, Randy comes to mind, because he's one of those ones that, like, I would love to walk him, and I would love to be in the ring with him, before the twilight days are done. But I'm not really crazy about dream matches. Is does it make sense? Like, if I asked you your dream match, it could be someone who has passed away versus someone who is active today, and let's even assume the old timer is still active. Is it the version of the old timer that's in your mind that is around today? Probably not. So I don't know about dream matches. They're not my thing. I don't like to fantasize. I just do what draws money and makes sense.
So Brian, you know mine because we talked about it on the show before. And I got Oba Femi against Moose.
Uh-huh.
but
Me too.
and there's still more on the bone with that. That can't be done. There's more to come with that, I would imagine, somewhere down the line. When I saw that, I was talking about that for months on the show, and I finally got it. I'm like, this is what I've been looking for.
I mean, that's one of the few ones that that actually did make sense and was possible, and that moment was very much about the fans. Like, even just as much as it was for me and Moose, to have that match, it was more about the fans, because for an entire year when I was doing my North American Championship reign, the fans were clamoring for it, and Oba Femi versus Moose, and to see that dream and actually be realized, amazing.
Well, Hood mentioned goals. A lot of people in this profession, the goal is the main event of WrestleMania. There are a lot of people out there that say Oba Femi is a future WrestleMania main eventer. When you hear stuff like that, how do you take it in?
I try not to let it get to my head, because you're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad. You're never as good as they say you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. So you always have to find that that balance. And amen. One day, hopefully, it will happen. But I try not to dwell on that, because sometimes when you tunnel vision, you forget to experience the journey.
This is our 200th episode of Good Karma Wrestling, and you're part of it. Do you have any advice for us to keep going to 300, maybe 301?
I mean, obviously, I would say this: think of the most interesting, crazy questions you can ask, and I think you'll get there. I mean, but good questions go a long way. That's all I'll say.
Okay, just so you know what that means, Brian. Just be entertaining.
Right. Yeah. Be like Oba Femi is what he's saying.
That's exactly right. NXT No Mercy comes to Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the War Memorial on September 27th. You can watch it on Peacock, and don't forget NXT on the CW every Tuesday. Champ, it is a pleasure to be able to talk to you. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me, my friend.